He brought her from Egypt. And what happens there? Well, in this chapter we find he decides to marry her. They have a child by the name of Ishmael, and Ishmael would be nothing but trouble for the rest of his life, and even to the day, to this time, right now, the descendants of Ishmael are a great tragedy for the people of God. Everything, all the big issues of his life goes back largely to Egypt. When we go back to chapter 26 now, Isaac is facing his own famine, his own trial, and what does he do? He heads immediately to Egypt. Look at verse 2. The Lord appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land which I shall tell you." So where's he headed? Egypt. He's going right back to what his dad did. Right back to the place that brought so many trials and so much heartache and pain to Abraham and his descendants. He's headed to Egypt, but God intercedes. God said, "I do not want you to go to Egypt. I want you to stay in the land where I will tell you. I want you," in verse 3, "to sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and to your descendants I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath which I had sworn to your father Abraham." He didn't go to Egypt like Abraham did, but he lived in Gerar, as Abraham had in Egypt. Twice in Abraham's life, you remember in chapter 12 and in chapter 20, he dishonored his wife. He pretended they were not married to save his own skin. And now Isaac is going to do something very similar. Look at verse 7. "And when the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, 'She is my sister.' For he was afraid to say, 'my wife,' thinking that the men might kill him." Same old trick that Daddy had. Where did he learn that? He learned that from his father, sadly. He didn't go down to Egypt, though, and he stayed in the land, so to speak. But isn't it a shame that we can't seem to build on the ruins of other people's lives? Isn't it a shame that we can't look at the sins of other people and learn from the consequences of them? So often we simply have to learn the same lessons again. So often we think we are the exceptions to the rule, right? I mean, that sin affected Abraham for the rest of his life and his descendants, but it won't happen to me. I'm smarter than Daddy. I'm not going to get caught up in the things my father did. I'll be okay. And so he's headed down to live in this sinful situation. You know, sin is never logical. Sin is to believe a lie. Sin is to believe that it doesn't matter